Hello, everybody. Good morning, and welcome back to the Millionaire Realtor Podcast. My name is Avi Siddiqui, and today I am accompanied by none other than Jennifer Jones. Jennifer is the CEO and the founder of the Jennifer Jones team. She's the number seven realtor out of 5,000 agents in the Toronto Real Estate Board, as well as Jennifer has built the number one team of EXP in Canada. So, Jennifer, welcome to this podcast. I'm so excited to have you here today.
Thank you so much. I'm actually sitting somewhere every month around 4 to 6 or top 10 within EXP. We've had a lot of amazing people on board. And yeah, I love it. I love being a smaller fish in a larger pond. And that's ultimately what's happened with so many amazing, incredible teams coming on.
Wow, that's amazing. And yes, I think at the end of this event, at the end of this podcast, my goal would be to learn from Jennifer, like how Jennifer has become, the number seven agent of Toronto. It's huge. It's quite bigger than, of course, our board in Vancouver. Like to learn from you, Jennifer, the mindset, the systems you use to scale, as well as if you stay till the end, Jennifer will share some of the top books and her secrets for the newer agents. So Jennifer, why don't we start from you? What inspired you to get into real estate?
So it was actually a case of my husband and I being in a place where we wanted to sort of renovate properties and sell ourselves. And that's how I got into real estate. I had no intention of becoming a realtor. Did you? Was it a plan?
I have never even knew that this occupation exists, because back home, this was not, especially even in Asia, it was not that big then. Yeah.
Right. And so same thing for most people, kind of stumbled into it. And what I discovered was that high level of detail I have and that high level of serving, it actually brought me these people, like different friends who would come forward and wanted me to list their properties, even at the beginning when I had no intention of selling real estate for anybody else. So after year one, I made $150,000, kind of just doing my own thing and helping a couple of friends. And I thought, wow, that's interesting. I think next year I'll make 500 then. And so it became like a declaration, right? I'll make 500,000 gross commission income next year. So I started in 2014, and our average sale price for our area was around like 520 to 580. It wasn't very high at the time. So second year did 500,000. And then I said, well, if I can make $500,000, what's to say I can't make $1 million in gross commission income myself, right? As an independent. So what I would do, I had been a new agent moving up to an area, small town, what would be considered to be a small town, with 3 dominant realtors who'd been there for 30 years. And there was this beautiful lakefront. It took about 30 minutes to drive one way, 30 minutes the other way. And I would drive that lakefront, sipping my Tim Hortons coffee and declaring, I'm so grateful all these buyers and sellers are mine. And I would do that every single day religiously. And just by being of service to people, like, how can I help this painter get more work in our community? How can I help this plumber? How can I help this electrician? And taking that time to see how I could serve others, along with that manifestation visualization that I was doing. By the next year you drove the lakefront, in my year 3, I made 1.1 million gross commission income as an independent realtor, back when the average sale price was 580, let's say. And if you drove the lakefront, almost every single listing was mine. Not only, and on most of those, I had double-ended, and they were my buyers too. So I feel like the number one thing or reason I became successful was my mindset, my belief that, life is like an experiment, right? That's what it is to me. And by loving people and serving others and, just being focused outside of yourself, you can create whatever it is that you see in your mind, right? Mm-hmm. So, we all go through times where, maybe things are more difficult. And an example of that, like our market shifted in February 22, right? Just after post-COVID, everyone starts journeying out to travel. And Keith at that time, so my husband had been diagnosed the end of December with a very aggressive stage 3, almost stage 4, base of tongue cancer that had gone into his neck. So that was a difficult time. So we had a market shift. We had Keith went through. I was taking him to treatment every single day. Even at nighttime, he would be getting fluids. A nursing team would come in. So there was a lot of things. I think that was one of the times where it's kind of pulled down more than normal, and that directly affected our whole team and all of our production. So even though we were maintaining in that top 10, we were, losing market share. Things were not going as great. And that's the perfect example of, like, we're all human. We all go through things. And in that time, you have to focus on what's important, but it's the reframe. It's getting yourself out of that. And the craziest part with that, I'm going through all of that. So now I'm in, kind of a more negative mind state, right?
Yeah.
And then I got a bill for $1.5 million personally from the CRA. So, I mean, when you go down that road of negative thinking, the things that will start coming at you, what you start attracting because you're resonating lower, are
Yeah.
unbelievable. So it took me, I'd say, like a good year to start moving out of that energy. And the funny thing was, once I started doing that and just fixating my mind on, I am so grateful, I owe the CRA nothing, right? And we had this whole case we built, and the accountants were telling me, oh no, nobody wins. Like, the chances of you winning this is not good, right? Anyway, it turned out at the end of that, I got a letter from the CRA saying I owed them nothing. And in fact, they owed me $1,500. I was like, yes. But that's mindset, right? That's me spending time visualizing the outcome I wanted, and doing that in a more elevated state, doing that in a happy state, so being careful of what you're thinking, being careful of what you're speaking over your world in any given day, because that is ultimately what you're going to get. So, we're all stuck in negative thinking, for the most part. So how do we move out of that, right? It's just catching yourself in the moment. And this is something that you've been working on as well. So
Absolutely,
how are
Jennifer.
you doing it? How has this worked for you in terms of mindset and manifestation?
It's been incredible. As you mentioned, everyone has ups and downs in their life, and sometimes we get caught up with negative emotion, negative energy more than the positive ones. Like, we forget to see, like, how much blessings we have every day, whether at work. For example, I would still say, like, I'm a new immigrant in Canada, and right in my, like, second year or maybe early third year, I got my real estate license, right? And then instead of being grateful, let's say, if I keep nagging, saying that, oh, why can't I make deals? Why can't I make transactions? It just won't take me anywhere. So when I got my license, I also tried to shift my mindset that, okay, I'm so grateful that at such an early stage in my life in Canada, I got my real estate license. I'll make sure to make the best use of it. And I was very afraid, because I had a very stable job, and then I never had to worry about finance, paying my bills. But then when I decided that I'll do this full time, I was really afraid. But then once I changed my mindset that, okay, I'll make my living through doing real estate, I never had a issue in any month after I got my license. So it was just changing the mindset, I believe.
Yeah, just that mindset. And it's so important. I think we talked about, I gave you that book to read that had been given to me by The Information by Glenn Sanford, of That Power of the Subconscious Mind. So Dr. Murphy, you can find it on YouTube. You just listen to it as you drive or whatever you're doing. Let it sit in your soul. Because I feel like it's things like that where you understand, we're just energetic beings, and we are literally creating the experience that we're having in this world. So change your thoughts, change your feelings, and ultimately you're going to change your body, right? And you're changing your experience in the world, which is so cool. I went down and did that Dr. Joe Dispenza retreat.
Yeah, I've seen
So that was a week long. I'm going back again in January. I find that that daily meditation as well
Yeah.
keeps me on track and it's the coolest thing. I realized they've done studies on meditators, even, before one of those retreats and after, even just a normal person that's never
Yeah.
meditated before. And the coolest thing is that their normal, like your normal oxytocin level, like your feel good hormones, especially for moms with babies, right, would typically be, it's like a 2, right? But the measurement after being a meditator, even after a week of solid meditating, your oxytocin level goes to like a 200, which is outside a range of normal, vastly like outside. And I think the cool thing with that is you realize when you're carrying those high levels of oxytocin in your body, that you actually are incapable of holding grudges. You're incapable of negative emotion, right? So there's there's the understanding that there's simple things that you can be doing in your world every single day, like just taking, you know, I would say 15 minutes, but it's not really effective. You really do need at least a half hour, ideally an hour for meditating.
And in
Um,
one sitting, right? Like, so when you said you
in
need an
one
half
sitting. Yeah,
hour, okay,
yeah.
yeah,
And because it takes a while to kind of get through the noise. I think after doing it so much, and I did it a lot as well, probably in my early 30s.
yeah,
So I can get to that state pretty quickly. But when you're first starting out, you're constantly overcoming, I'm going to say overcoming your body, because your body really runs the show, right? I need coffee, right? I'm hungry. I'm tired. You've got work to do. You should probably check your phone, right? I wonder what's on social media. So that constant overcoming of your body being addicted to all these things and it wants to go and do what it wants to do. So I like the way Dr. Joe says, like treating your body like a dog, right? I love my dog. I don't treat my dog like a dog, but for other people, it's like sit,
yeah,
stay. You're going to stay here. And I learned that we did a 5-hour meditation with Dr. Joe and that journey of overcoming yourself through 5 hours, which is like, in my head, I'm like, shut up, shut up, shut up,
mhm,
finish it, right?
yeah,
Because I know we've been here a long time. I don't know what time it is, but I know it's long. I'm like for coffee. And so it's exactly that. It's overcoming and each time telling your body, knock it off. We are not getting up. We are going to go to the end and then sitting in it. So I
yeah,
think one of the hacks for it for people, I think, just to see that manifestation starting to happen in your world
yeah,
would be that hack is as you go to sleep at night, as you wake up in the morning, where you're in that relaxed state and your brain waves are slower, just saying to your body, calves relax, thighs relax, go all the way up, telling your body parts to relax, and
mhm,
then visualizing what it is that you want to see in your world, exactly the way that you want to see it, with emotion, with love, with excitement. So, even taking 10 to 15 minutes to do that a day, and you're going to see things change. I wasn't meditating when I made the million one, right?
mhm,
But I was visualizing and waking up every day and saying, how can I serve? Please
mhm.
send me the people I'm meant to serve. Please keep the people away I'm not meant to serve. Right? Yeah.
So going
So
back, when you started from like 0 to 150 and 150 to 500, at that time, what was the mantra? Like, were you like visualizing? Like, did you spend like 5 to 10 minutes, 15 minutes every day visualize? Because you mentioned that you were driving in the lake area every day, right? So
yeah.
tell us more
And
about.
that didn't start. So making the 150, I wasn't visualizing. I was simply serving.
Yeah,
So like showing up every day with how do I help this person get business? How do I help that person get business? But like it's the law of reciprocity where people feel a need to make things even. If you do things for them, they want to help. But I wasn't doing it for the law of reciprocity. I was doing it out of love and like just truly being there and serving other people and wanting them to succeed
mhm,
and knowing that the universe, God, whoever you believe in, whatever it is you believe, that ultimately that law is that whatever I put in is coming back to me 100-fold. And maybe it's simply the belief that I have that that is true, that
Mhm.
that is why. I don't know. I can just tell you, I
Yeah.
believe that what you put out and what you pour into other people does come back to you 100-fold, and that money is just energy. So when I'm giving to someone else,
Yeah.
maybe I'm painting an older person's garage door who can't get around to it, it needs help. Maybe I'm cutting the lawn of someone I see needs help. Just by doing that, instead of, like, if it was a commission, that's going to come back to me in the form of money as an energy transfer, but otherwise it's coming back in the form of love or referrals or whatever, right? So
Uh-huh.
I think you the first thing you need right is your mind.
Yeah.
And running a team and bringing on so many new realtors, I can
Mhm.
tell you, I can pick them out who will succeed quickly and who is going to be on a longer journey of success and who might not get there, right?
Mm.
And the thing is, if you can't get your mindset right from the beginning, you're already, for lack of a better term, like dead in the water, right? So whatever it is that you're thinking and believing about yourself, you need to do that work first, where you are going to think and believe that you are successful. You're going to live that way. You're going to show up like that. That is going to be your energy. You're dressing like that. You're walking like that. You're speaking like that, right? So you know what they say, right? What does it say? It walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, probably a duck.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
are the same way. They're reading you quickly, right?
Yeah.
They read you very quickly. They read your energy and they are looking at what you're presenting to them.
Mhm.
So it's easy. Real
Yeah.
estate is super easy. This is the most challenging piece. If you get this, I
Mhm.
guarantee you the rest of it is easy. People will want to help you. We have new agents that have come into real estate, and we have one in particular. She did 14 deals her first month. Okay,
Wow.
14. Mhm. So how do you do that? You do that by having the right mindset, by coming in and wanting to serve other people and believing that good things happen to you, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, it's the changing mindset from the commission-driven mindset to a helping mindset, right? And for
Mhm.
example, for example, for in our business, we work with a lot of mortgage brokers, a lot of lawyers, inspectors. So in essence, like we want to help them,
Yes.
doing more business for them, helping them growing, and that's how we will also get some. I mean, not like some business from them, but from the universe in general, right?
Right. And that's it. It's like doing it without expectation from anything in return from them, knowing that the universe provides, that your God provides, whatever it is that you believe. So that has been my success hack. And then you get into the other side of it. We can basically, we have something called the GCI calculator. So
Yeah.
gcicalculator.com. You can plug in your gross commission income you want to earn. And it is, and then it will sort of break down for your average area what that commission is going to be. And then therefore, how much activity do I need in order to hit this result, right? So it would be like, I'm going to door knock, I'm going to cold call, I'm going to do it all through Sphere, I'm going to go on social media, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So it will break down how much activity you need per year and therefore per week in order to hit those numbers. And we would say front load it. Plan to do all this activity now from January to June, and then you'll be blown away by what your production actually is, right? So if you front load it, now you can take a month off and go spend it with your family doing something, or, you can continue to work. But I think where people make the mistake is that, like, procrastination, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'll get to it tomorrow. Oh, I didn't do it today. You have to change your mindset and say, oh, I'm going on vacation. Then I need to double down the next week before I go,
Yeah.
right? Because I'm not going to be able to cold call, or not that you're not going to be able to. I'm
Door
going to
knock.
choose not to cold call or door knock on my vacation. So I'm going to front load it now and double down for the next week. What a great feeling to go away versus going away and feeling guilty that there's these things that you probably should have been doing and didn't do. Yeah.
especially during this time of the year when things are getting slow, we can really front load stuff before we go on vacation or take some time off. So I think it's a great way of thinking. So, so Jennifer, like I know, like you were doing like helping people, right? And then obviously got a lot of success. But then how did you scale so much, right? Obviously there was a process in the background. You are having a process to scale to number one in Canada, number seven, five or six in the board. So tell us more about your process, how you do, or the systems that you set.
So I think once you don't want to start a team, for instance. That's basically what I did. I'm a process and systems person. I love everything to be very organized, right? Now, I didn't start a team until my production level was so high, I could no longer service the people, these clients that were coming to me. My service level was dropping, hence the reason for a team. So
Yeah.
I didn't plan to start a team, and I don't recommend that people, that you go out and start a team. I actually think that agents are more profitable being very small, right? Either themselves with an assistant that can help, or, maybe like a very small team. But as you go up in your team numbers, you need more of everything, right? You need more administrators, you need more, you're going to need more leads, you have more expenses. Even carrying each agent per month is super expensive. So I think it wasn't intentional. And then when I did it the first time, so I started the team, I was being very generous with everybody. Overly generous is what I learned. So they made a lot of money, and I ended up that year losing 150,000, right? So that was kind of that wake up call of like, ooh, I didn't do that right. So I looked at the top team that was within our company at the time, my former company, and they were doing 2,100 deals a year out of Austin, Texas. So I sent down my office manager, who's also licensed. I sent her down to shadow them. So they allowed her to shadow for an entire day. She learned all their processes, all their systems, and brought it back up, and then we implemented, right? So it was like, we don't need to reinvent the wheel, right? We have now, we've invented more things. But at the time, I think if you're starting out, you don't need to do it yourself. Just look at someone who's already successful and just implement what they're doing, right? I'm not talking about the sales part, because I think that's where you have to be authentic, where it has to be you. But in terms of a system and a process, like for example, we use Trello. So all of our listings, all of our deals, everything is super organized.